Speaking of moves, then, just going through sort of the recent sales that the Dinamo have had, and it's one of those baffling things. You look at the amounts of money and you think, well, how much it must cost to run a club which isn't in sort of the top five European leagues. Of course, it's going to be, it's not going to cost. You're not going to be paying the sort of the £200,000 a week Gareth Bale wages on loan at Spurs, that sort of thing. So sort of just looking through, and I mean, these are selected transfers that have the outgoings from Dinamo Zagreb over the last 3 years. We've got Josko Gvardiol, who's 19 still, has been playing there this season, but agreed a €15 million transfer to RB Leipzig. Nicola Moro, who's 22, when he was 22, signed for Dinamo Moscow for 8 million. Dani Olmo, who we've just spoken about, left for 20 million euros to Leipzig. Filip Benkovic, when he was 21, left for Leicester City. Ante Koric for 6 million to Roma. Ivan Sunjic for 8 million to Birmingham City. That one flew under my radar. But Borna Sosa as well, when he was 20, he left for Stuttgart, who's done fantastically out this season, who we discussed on a previous podcast. He left for 6 million euros. But with Sosa, Ben, he's been in the news this week because he's had a bit of a change of heart, and he's going to declare for Germany internationally. And I believe his mother's German. But for somebody who was coming through the Dinamo Zagreb youth ranks, for somebody who has been, for all intents and purposes, Croatian, what do you think Romeo's stance would be on that? Would he just be very content that somebody who his setup has helped develop is now going to potentially go and win major European honours, or would it be sort of a little bit leaving a little bit of a sour taste in the mouth?
It's interesting you asked that, because we actually talked about Borna Sosa with Romeo during my conversation, and Romeo was very involved in this 2013 Dinamo Zagreb team, who it was the 98 and 99 generation who won the Nike Premier Cup at Old Trafford. And Sosa was one of the star players of that tournament. And he was just, Romeo was kind of raving to me about Sosa during our conversation. And that was about 2 weeks back. And he told me that, Sosa is the future of the Croatian national team. And
Oh, it's got to sting.
yeah, so I feel like we kind of jinxed that because, yeah, since then, obviously, what's happened. And I feel like he'll probably be more disappointed because of how heavily he worked with the Croatian setup. And I feel like, when you lose a talent like Borna Sosa, who I think is probably, especially in terms of his crossing, it's so unique and it's
Oh yeah.
so good. It's almost generational. Like, there's a reason why they call him like the new David Beckham. And when you lose a talent like that, especially with the way sort of the strikers, the profile of strikers Croatia have in that team, like, the likes of Mandzukić is getting a bit old, but Kramaric, you'd imagine Sosa would probably thrive in that Croatian team. But he's going to be a key asset to Germany as well now.
Yeah, absolutely, he will be. And we discussed this, but he's been great for Stuttgart this season. They've had a great campaign. And if you'd like to listen to more on Stuttgart, then there is a previous episode on the Scout Football podcast. But just looking at sort of Sosa's, his rap sheet, essentially, he's played for Croatia from under 14 level up all the way up every single age group to under 21, which just makes it all, and spending the best part of 12 years at Dinamo Zagreb just makes it all the more difficult to take if you were somebody like Romeo.